Hi, welcome to Caleb Food Channel, where I try foods that nobody else wants to, so you don't have to. Today, I've got an assortment of 3 very familiar sauces. Now, these are common names within the American household if you've ever heard of the hit interview series on YouTube, Hot Ones. I've got here, by popular demand, The Last Dab, and 3 different variations. So I think all of these variations have different flavor profiles, 2 of which are made from Pepper X, one of which here, the Apollo, is made from the Apollo pepper. And I'm going to be trying these hot sauces to see what they're all about, to see if they taste good, how spicy they are. You know, I'll probably give them a rating 1 through 10, and we'll see if I can recommend these to you or any other human being. Now, overall, I'm not great with spice, at least on the back end. On the front end, I tend to do a little bit better on handling spice. So, you know, like I like my food spicy, but, you know, the tummy doesn't. So in preparation, I've got my Hydro Flask, and I have my lovely assistant Heidi in the background. Go ahead and say hi.
Hello.
And she's going to be running me any other hot aids that I need, including and not limited to milk, more water, ice, whatever the assortment. And then I've got these chips here. I think the approach today is I'm going to start with a drop of each of the sauces and just put 1 drop on a chip and just try it out and go from there. All right, so, you know, I'm going to get my paper towel ready because I feel like my nose is going to start running if this gets spicy. I'm going to try with the Last Dab Triple X, right? I think, or you know what? I actually heard that the Last Dab Experience is the least spicy of the trio, while Apollo has more of a sharp and quick spice, and Triple X being the spiciest of the trio, or the second spiciest of the trio. So let's start with the Last Dab Experience. I'm going to be very careful through the duration of this video to not touch my nose or my eyes, as I think that would be bad. Okay, so the container itself, it does not have like a fine hole. It's like a very wide gap. I feel like it would be very easy to get that last like dab. Like it's not a dripper as you would expect from something like Tabasco or something like that. It's more of an open hole. I don't know if you can see that, but let's try to be pretty subtle. I literally have no idea. I do not dabble with super spicy things. I've not gone past, like, I think I've had some ghost pepper like hot sauce before, but I've never had something that is like designed to like make you suffer. So this is, you know, okay. So we have the Last Dab Experience, got a nice little dab right here. And let's see what this is all about. So immediately it is pretty hot, and it burns the throat as well. This is pretty comparable to the ghost pepper sauce that I've had in the past, at least for now. We'll see how this develops. I can already tell that my face is getting flush and getting red, and I can feel it starting to get up into my throat and into my nose, but this isn't like fuck your life spicy, at least not a respectably small amount. But usually when it comes to spicy food, there's more of accumulation effect than there is just like a one-off thing. So I'm sure if I had multiple chips of these over time, this would definitely kick my ass if I was to like eat multiple chips of these. But it's honestly not as bad as I expected. I thought it was going to have me writhing on the floor in the fetal position. So this is definitely like, you know, tolerable compared to that. This is post first sauce, Caleb. I'm in charge of cooking pasta, so I'm cooking pasta. I'm about 5 minutes in. It's chill. It's not a big deal. This isn't like fuck your life spicy. This is it is appropriately spicy, I think. Okay. So the spice is worn off. That was pretty good. I liked the flavor. The flavor lingered a little bit longer than the spice did, if that makes any sense, in terms of like the impact it had. But I enjoyed the flavor. I thought it was good. I didn't think it would be that easy to conquer. I thought it would be a little bit spicier. So I'm hoping that this one, the Triple X, the Last Dab Triple X, will be a little bit spicier. And I've heard that it is. So let's see how it is. Let's crack it open real quick. Same deal, open top. Let's get a smaller chip this time because I'm more concerned with just tasting the sauce and not the chip. Okay, this one's more liquidy, so it came out a little bit quicker than I had hoped or expected. But we have a pretty solid dab. That is a pretty solid last dab. We're just gonna go tongue first with the spice and just see how it goes. Immediately a different flavor. This one is more like, not citrusy, but more fruity. Something like a mango salsa would be, with smoky being more of an aftertone. It is certainly spicy. It's getting more in my throat than I think the last one did. I like this flavor less than the Last Dab Experience. I like the Experience flavor a lot more. It was more smoky. The Triple X, I think it has more of a burn spice and an egg spice, but again, it's not going to ruin your life if you have some of this hot sauce. Like, it is painful, but it's extremely tolerable, and if you enjoy spicy foods, you will find it enjoyable. It is not horrific by any means. You know, if you've seen videos of like the hot chip challenge, I don't think it's on that level, but it's spicy. You know, it's burning my tongue. It's a solid burn. I can tell it's gonna last a while too. So same thing. I'm sure if I had, you know, multiple like hot wings of these types of sauces and stuff like that, then it would start to get to me for sure. What's interesting about this one is it has more of a numbing effect than the last one did. I feel like my tongue is more so going numb than it is burning, if that makes any sense. Like, it certainly burns, especially on like the outer portions of my tongue where less sauce got on it. So near the tip of my tongue and towards the back of my throat, there is more of that burning sensation. But at least where the sauce was primarily applied, it is just kind of going numb. Like, that is what I feel. So I think that is the appeal of some of these sauces, is like they're more of an experience than a flavor thing, because for a lot of people, they will actually get like a dopamine rush from either getting through the sauce or while they're experiencing the spice from the sauce. And I can definitely see where they're coming from with that, where like it feels like you're on this hot sauce high rather than like tasting food. Because this is not designed, this one I feel like is not designed for food. Like, the roof of my mouth, my tongue, all of that, all of that is like going numb right now. I think that's the best descriptor for it. So, definitely spicier than the last one, but flavor is not my favorite, if there at all. I think the first flavor was actually quite pleasant. This is definitely spicier, and it's just making everything numb. So I'm gonna ride this out, and you know, I'll give you an update as it progresses. But I think this is pretty much gonna be the experience all the way through for the next like 5-7 minutes or so. So I'll probably just chill off camera and keep stirring my pasta until then, because I think that's about it for this one, for the Last Dab Triple X. Less flavor, more spice, more numbing effect. Cool hot sauce though. All right, so we're about 5 minutes in of the Last Dab Triple X. This is definitely spicier than the first one. The numbness has kind of faded, And so now it just actually burns for real. And it's got me reaching for, you know, some more water, some more chips. Like my nose is running a bit more. Now it's definitely in like a stinging phase after about 5 minutes. The numbness is gone, and yeah, now it's just stinging. So this is definitely a hotter sauce for sure. This sauce I actually enjoyed. I enjoyed the flavor. I enjoyed the spice level. I would eat this, you know, maybe casually. This I would not experience. I would not put this in my ramen. I would not do anything with this. It doesn't taste that good. It just hurts. It just hurts. The numbness is gone. It is just more painful. I came down from this one. Not a big deal. It just lasted longer, like I said before. Okay. Last one is the Last Dab Apollo. So this is made from a different pepper. From what I've heard, this is a quicker spice in terms of the buildup. It is more explosive in that sense. So let's try this again. I'll try to pour this one slower so I don't pour as much. But we'll still get, yeah, that's a good dab. This is a good dab worth. What do you think? Yeah, that's solid. All right, same thing. I'm gonna put the sauce down. This one has more of the citrusy flavor. It's not smoky at all in terms of flavor. This is the least spicy of all of them. I could chain eat this. Let's see if it builds up. But for now, this is like definitely the least spicy of the three. I think this is my second favorite flavor profile. This is the worst flavor profile and also the spiciest, and it had that weird numbing thing. I think this would be my choice. If you are going to try the Last Dab and you actually want to use it on stuff, I think this is the choice, the Last Dab Experience. It had the best flavor profile. It had a good level of spice where it was spicier than Apollo, but it wasn't like as miserable as the XXX one. So this was my favorite of the three. Apollo, the spice is extremely tolerable. Like I would be able to do another one of those chips. Not that bad. But in sum, the Last Dab hot sauces, I like all three iterations. I think they are interesting if you're into spice. If you're into challenging your spice levels, I think all three of these will challenge your spice levels, and you can add more or less depending on your spice tolerance. Please, if you try this yourself, start slow, don't hurt yourself. I have a high pain tolerance overall, and I'm decent with spicy food, so I was okay. But please know your limits, go slow. But overall, these are all good hot sauces. Final ratings, I will give this one, the Experience, 8 out of 10. I will give the XXX a 6 out of 10. And Apollo, I think also a 6 out of 10. I kind of like these the same. This is better if you want something spicier that's gonna last longer. This is better for the flavor profile, so like you could add this to like a bowl of ramen or something, and I think this would mix pretty well. But overall, they're not as good as the Experience. But anyways, thanks for watching. I'm glad that I could do the service for you and eat these hot sauces so you don't have to. Thanks. All right, quick follow-up. The Apollo one is this is about 5 minutes after consumption. The Apollo one is sneaking up on me. It is spicy. So I guess I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Experience, 8 out of 10. XXX, we'll keep it at 7 out of 10 because it's just spicy. But yeah, Apollo is comparable to XXX. It's spicier. My nose is leaking. But still tolerable. It's comparable to XXX. They're about the same spice level, but XXX had that like numbing effect. Apollo does not. I'm not reaching for as many chips. I'm not going for the drink. It's not as spicy. Okay, that's about it. See ya.